Hey, who's that?
Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Lohse woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly, deathly allergical.
I love this meeting. Lavender decides to play along, go for the joke, and takes her arm with a grin. Well, surely you must be mistaken, little children.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with
What a
anyone
name.
else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Very nice witch strand here on the right. Kind of hard to see from this angle.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Lavender goes and shakes her hand. So, I think Lohse?
You presume right.
Also call you Josephine Pebbles the Peep. So, knowing anything that happens on board? Especially like some kind of murder things?
Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
I like your mindset. I mean, you ought to have a look around with me. We can watch each other's back, what you know?
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it.
Wow.
You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Seems like she has quite the secret. Yeah, there you can see the witch strand. Ah, she's such a cool character. Let's talk with the ball gang.
Do you know Lohse? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
Amazing.
You look a little bit elfish. Maybe your daddy was an elf. My daddy's name is Frida. He's waiting for me at home. I'll go home soon.
I mean, first off, a little elvish. Second off, oh, I don't think we're going home. Gosh, and they even experimented and collared all those children. Great.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet.
Yeah, poor children. Not knowing that it's a trip without going probably ever back.
My mum doesn't like elves, but I have a secret. When I grow up, I'm gonna be an elf. She'll get used to it.
Good luck with that. Follow your dreams. Ah, and another animal we can talk to.
You, sorcerer! Blood? No! Go! Ruff. Name?
Depends on who's asking.
The Divine Order wants to know.
Oh, the Divine Order wants to know. Okay. Lavender.
Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy, we're trying to catch a killer here.
I mean, there don't seem to be too many people here, so it should be quite easy,
They
right?
don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle
Ooh, another elf. He looks
One of us wouldn't kill our own.
noticeably older
Picking us off one by one.
and is having a good laugh.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and examines your face, tugging at your ears and prodding your nose.
Is that your typical elvish greeting?
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
What an odd person.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Lavender shrugs and thinks he will just return the gesture and reaches over and ruffles the guy's hair with with a grin.
What purpose did that serve? Was that a greeting? Was it... Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How... difficult.
How unfortunate.
You have my apologies, fellow elf. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once.
Lavender looks at him curiously. Well, I'm not really sure you understand what's happening, right?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Understanding is all rather relative.
Philosopher.
Take this book, for example. I understand all of it, and yet none of it makes sense.
Seems to be quite the detached and otherworldly guy, right?
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
Yeah, it's kind of fun that you can use like different tags you have for different dialogue options. Mystic would be, it's mainly a battle between souls and void, good and evil, light and darkness. Scholar would be basically pointing out that the book is good. Let's go for the Elven one. Well, memories are very precious to our people, especially memories of the past. Well, wait. All memories are of the past. On the other hand, they were, until our homelands were destroyed.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already.
What are you asking for, then?
No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before.
I mean, it is kind of hard to know something before your own creation, right?
Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
Well, actually, I've often pondered the nature of the gods, but I don't really have any answers. Just lots of theories.
Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else?
Wow, charming guy.
Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No, wait. I answered quite a lot of questions to you, so why were you so curious about the gods?
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
What are you trying to do
Friendly
anyway?
old guy.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me
I
to
think
listen.
that was the one where we have to register ourselves, so let's just walk around and talk
Never
some more
thought
to the
you'd
others.
end up a prison guard, Vic.
Oh,
That's right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mezd.
this
Your
Oh,
kind always
quite a
hung
lot of
closest
hair
to our
on his
divine,
back.
like wolves at
Did you
a-
see the body? They ought to let you taste a bit. Maybe you'd find out who done it.
out of context, that's such a creepy statement. Anyway,
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that? How dare you classify this slop?
I'm just hearing chatter by the other
I've
people.
seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Well, I'm hearing quite a lot. Other people chattering. I think there's a mouse around here, and anything particular I'm meant to be hearing?
The ship, of course.
I never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with
Going along, Lavender quiets, listens to the sound of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of
See?
wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
I'd say the sea's sounding like she has a rather bad day. Kinda angry. like trying to capsize the ship.
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger. It's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Is he a ship whisperer?
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close.
I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to be listening for, so any hint?
You've got ears on your head, haven't you? You need me to show you how to use them?
You can show me how to use them? Kinda closes his eyes, sighing, tries to let the ambient sound on the ship fade away.
There now, just like that.
You can see how I'm listening at something?
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Is it? What did we hear? So yeah, I heard it, but what is it supposed to be? Why are you so happy about squeaking?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it
Thanks, I
clockwise,
guess.
which means we're heading east. Pardon my beard. That means if we'd been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Hey, he really seems to know his shit. But if I may ask, why are you so excited about reaching Fort Joy? I haven't heard anything good about the place, and nothing which would cause any joy in me.
No indeed, boy. But that ain't my final destination.
Ooh, what is?
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
I want to know where you're going. Lavender cocks an eyebrow. You know, if you're hatching an escape plan, I want in.
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
Also want to know why you're called Beast.
Your kind always hung
Not the
closest to
most
our
common
divine,
name.
like wolves around a campfire.
Well, well.
The Red
What have we
Prince.
here?
Also not
A
a common
fresh
name.
face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
If I'll do? For what?
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse.
Okay.
All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Like looking at a horse. Great. And Lavender mumbles through clenched jaws. Well, what on earth are you doing?
I'm inspecting your teeth, in case that wasn't spectacularly obvious.
Duh.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this.
Wow.
Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest.
You know, after this whole display, I think I'm not answering you any damn questions. Bye.
Goodness gracious me, what a bore. Off with you. Quite clearly, you wouldn't have done at all. Shoo.
As soon as
What
the
a
Inquisitor
loss.
gets here, we'll hang you right over the...
I spent my life singing for my slaves to bring me my supper. Finer fare than boiled roots and rotten tubers, too.
Yeah, slavery is like really common in the Lizard Empire.
Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
It's pronounced so nicely.
They're picking us off
I can take the beer.
Can we just
But I don't think
skip to the part
she
where
was
I
meant by
reassure
the
you and
old
you
woman.
shut
I
up?
mean, she sounds like an old woman. But quite sure it would have been mentioned. Oops. It would have been mentioned if it was a
Surely.
lizard.
here anyway.
I'll
Makes
tell
sense,
you
right?
if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to
And I
listen.
mean, we couldn't talk with her about it. Greasy key. Another magic.
I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
He's looking at the bottom. Yeah, dude, you're just looking at the floor. Looking for clues. Maybe the clue will just run in front of me.
Slop as food. I've seen more
I hate
appetizing
slavers.
things coming out of
I
plague-stricken
don't think
fish.
anyone disagrees on that. I
There's
hope.
nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Yeah, I think all
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less
prisoners.
than a dozen
No, she
horse
doesn't
dinner,
have
and I
the
don't
Magister
intend to do
symbol
away
on her
with the
back.
custom.
He has.
Well,
We have.
there has been
Beast
a murder,
has.
Your Majesty.
Well, he has
Maybe
just
that has
a
the
lot of
Majesty
chest
more
hair.
concerned
Oh
than your
boy.
appetite.
Yeah, I think in general it's a prisoner thing. On the other hand, the children don't have that symbol. I wonder if it means something. Hey, Ifan. My future love.
A scruffy man
Ifan is so
lounges against the
great.
wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Ifan has such a nice voice and he's just such a cool character. So, yeah. Spoiler, I'm going to romance him.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again.
Sure. Don't need to ask me twice. Lavender moves closer to Ifan.
He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
Magisters are such charming people. So, if I may ask, not that I want to imply anything, but why does the Magister suspect you of murder? And why am I still standing so close to you?
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Ooh, they serve together.
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing.
Victor seems to be a lot less charming.
Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
So, if I may ask, what did you do to find yourself at the mercy of, well, a former subordinate?
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested parties.
And I mean, I'm so curious about the murder, so did you do it?
No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
What is a good reason?
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
He looks so upset and glaring. And I've just seen like a little bit of stories, but do you know anything more about Fort Joy? Besides that, it's not a place of joy.
The joy? I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show.
A bishop running at 4.
Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
Well, you know, I'd like to meet Alexander. I'd just show him exactly what I think of this bloody divine order.
Easy now. I might think the same. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
Well, good riddance.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, elf, what's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
You know, my name, Jill.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you. At once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
I mean, there's so many magisters and so few prisoners. How can they not already tell who murdered someone?
They don't care about us.
I think it's like just twice the prisoners compared to guards, if you exclude the children. Anyway, last but not least.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Charming.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
I have no idea what you're doing, but I'm bored, so may I join you?
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid.
Sad.
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
So that means you can read the future and count trace as well.
She eyes you suspiciously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. Just like you. And I'm quite good at it too.
Ah, because it's an elvish skill.
I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
You know, sounds odd, but what better thing do I have to do? Sure, why not? Lavender extends his arm.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
Such a weird picture.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. A very special someone. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
Well, this is awkward. And Lavender stares at the ground, a little embarrassed. Well, I had quite forgotten about that. This is awkward.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Glad to hear that. So, anyway, whose fate of dice are you deciding?
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Quiet long enough for me to listen.
Yeah, as you might have seen at the loading screens, those are all, well, the important ones are all potential companions. So let's go for registration.
And if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Not only is that voice oddly familiar,
Most foul.
but she's also an old lady.
You know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Okay, let's crash the party.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
You know, just to ask you a question first, would you be fine, colored like a dog and stuck in a ship's hold with a corpse and a murderer on the loose?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Wow.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason.
Wow.
You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Excuse me that I was born with magic, or sorcery.
Keep those bolts trained on her. And if she...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
Wonder if we can join her and just kill the magisters. Also interesting that that one is oddly taller than the others.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Oh no.
Good God, the woman's mad.
just noticed that now?
You there, sorcerer! Go and fetch Magister Siwan! We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
Lavender thinks this may be the perfect opportunity to create a mutiny. You know what, woman? I stand by you. Sounds like a better idea than keeping here, being collared and everything.
No, I'm afraid I always perform my part solo. Do stay and watch, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
Ooh, I want to know that trick.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay, that was a quick fight.